nowhere have this Dr. ITULA restrained councillor but at the city of Windhoek. Because when he realized that because remember in the negotiation they came there to say they want to have mayor, they want to have chairperson of management committee, the rest of us must just be there supporting. We said no. With other colleagues in the coalition, we said no, it doesn't work like that. So it has been really tough. It's not that we could not confront. These people are saying, yeah, why are you doing all this? Because if I as mayor would have to focus on Dr. ITULA every time, it would have been a serious problem. That's why our head of legal said, no, colleagues, when we analyze these things objectively, let's put the anti-corruption in the coalition. Because Dr. ITULA, for instance, he was saying there's a white guy in Swakop Moon who's willing to become a CEO to volunteer without a salary. But we're also saying, but can we sacrifice ourselves just because people want to have certain political objectives? So we could not respond to those things because we wanted to stabilize the city, and we don't regret not responding, because you sometimes need to just tolerate a lot of things, because if the councillors are not restrained, then there is some directive to say on this issue. I remember we had to meet the minister in Ochiwarongo for the induction, and we went with IPC councillors. The minister was coming to see us. We needed to speak about the fire brigade. Councillor Ambuda at the time, because he was a strategic executive, there was this matter that he needed to go and raise with the minister. Dr. ITULA gave them a directive. So Ambuda had to plead with me, please ask the minister this thing. Because they were restrained that they cannot participate in a meeting with the minister. Ambuda had to come and give me those. It's actually the Fire Brigade Act, because the Fire Brigade Act requires it requires that government must actually fund the fire brigade. The fire brigade and the emergency services in total cost about 500 million. So it is a very serious developmental issue, and Ambuda wanted to articulate those issues because he was at that meeting at State House. But ITULA restrained him. So I had now I couldn't go to public and complain. We just said, okay, let's stomach that and continue. He couldn't attend. So councillors of IPC are the most traumatized at the city of Windhoek, because now on every agenda point they will have papers that are typed. So we are debating almost just like this, having an engagement and say, on this matter, this one, they read the notes when we go to the next agenda point, because it's very sad for them also. Yeah, because sometimes you really feel pity for them. They want to take independent positions. They wanted to take independent positions, but they cannot take independent position because they must comply with those directives. So his conduct has been very, 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 very problematic. It's either he's just concerned, he wakes up, I'm almost convinced that Dr. ITULA, his breakfast is job AMUPANDA, his lunch is job AMUPANDA, his dinner is job AMUPANDA. He probably wakes up in the middle of the night and just, because then how do you write a letter? We are in a negotiation. They are saying job is not going to be retained. Who told you that that's position of, we already say bye-bye to the residents. Why do you make that an issue and things like that? So the destructive nature of Dr. ITULA is very, very, very problematic. And I'm glad that as a collective we have also taken a decision with other coalition partners to address this specific issue of his conduct. If you read our coalition agreement, clause 12 makes provision of how are we make provision, we anticipate that there will be other members, other political parties that are represented in council that may want to join the coalition. Clause 12 is there. It makes provision. None of us, and as indicated, the AR movement had reached out already from the beginning to LPM. None of us actually committed. I remember I had 2 meetings with Dr. ITULA, long meetings. And I realized part of the crime that I committed is that because I refused to be his boy. At one point I had to block him on WhatsApp because he just said, yeah, there's this businessman who wants what, please meet with him. Wondering, this guy, who does he think? I am. Am I his child or something? Sometimes maybe I'm wondering that if I was his child, would he treat me the same? Because I have a son, I have a child, and I imagine how children feel. Yeah, because when in our relationship, Kawandenge calls me even in the middle of the night and says, Mayor, I don't agree with this. Please change. You know, he comes and advice. And also the National General Secretary of IPC, she's been quite helpful. She will call and say, please just continue. Even if she disagrees with something, she will say it politely and nicely and things like that. There's also another functionary of IPC in the Rongo region. What is it? Kangulu. Kangulu. Aloysius, eh?
Aloysius Kangulu.
Yeah, he's quite a sober man, quite a mature man. Even sometimes when you want to fight, and he said, please, man, let's think of the bigger picture, let's think of the country. Not everybody is a problem in the IPC. They've been quite very helpful. The mayor of Vaves Bay has been quite very helpful, and many others, people in IPC have been very helpful. But Dr. ITULA seemed to have a particular problem with job. Yeah, to have a particular, I'm not going to be mayor, so I'm going to be an ordinary council, so that you are able to now to see the robust engagement in that council, and also robust engagement in the city of Windhoek. So there are people who have been quite very helpful in the IPC, and sometimes they've actually assisted. Even when I wanted to react in a particular way, they will say, please think of the bigger picture, don't do that. But we cannot withhold this information to our activists, to the public, because it's also becoming very confusing, because the youth are looking at us. We lead a youth movement, and majority of the youth are concerned about the future.